Uja, greetings. I am Sunu Setnahasra. Welcome to our early morning ancient Egyptian devotion, dedicated to Goddess Net in all her mystic forms, gods and goddesses who are derived from her transcendental essence. The liturgy, which you will be able to see on screen, is recited in the ancient Egyptian language, the Medu Neter. English and Brazilian Portuguese translations is provided for you. You can see these translations on screen directly below the hieroglyphic text transliteration. You are welcome to participate by chanting along in your worship space, home, or wherever you may happen to be during the service. Or you are also welcomed to listen quietly in a contemplative mode. Following the devotional, which is Uwashu in the Kemetic language, the recitation of the liturgy and meditation, known as Uwa in the Kemetic language, we will have a brief wisdom known as Rek in the Kemetic language, teaching by Sehu Khepera, leader and priest of the Shetaut Neter Temple of Net. Before we begin, please remember to mute all devices. We will now begin. Presented on the screen at the moment is a stone-carved depiction of the facing pylons of the Temple of Net from the statue of Henet. On the left and right sides are the pylons in which one of the symbols of Goddess Net sits atop of a papyrus standard. Her emblem is her two arrows crossed and tied to her shield. This symbolizes the protection and resurrection of the soul within this place, the temple. Behind the emblems of Net on both sides are the flags, which mean Neter, divinity. In the center of the pylons, at the bottom, is the opening to the temple, and above that is the pyramidal structure, which symbolizes the four equilateral planes of the universe and the mystic number 4. Above that, at the very top, is the cow hieroglyph, which means rising. It symbolizes the sun rising between the mountains, the Aket symbol, and for the initiates, the emergence of spirit consciousness. Net nesumer punato anine Jeref nesu hatati net perperi Menkep mert hepset net enkai Geri hepert hep SSN hep net Inat Ren F Net nesuma pudater net Jedefne suhatati perkeru. Menket mert hepsetne enkaen. Gary Hepertep SSN Mhetne Ina Ren Fcheta Net Nesuma Pu Netter Amine Jeref Nesuha Tepti Net Perkeru Menket Mert Hebset Net Kaim Gary Hepertep SSM Mhetne Ina Ren Fcheta Net Nesuma Puneter Emine Jedef Nesuha Tapti Perkeru Menket Mert Hepset Net Kaim Gary Hepertep SSN Mhetne Ina Ren Fcheta Duamu Kerefu Benefen Heru Akuti Anate Chekira Neferne Ruben
Ruamu Shetefu Benef and Heru Akuti Anete Shugera Nefeneb Uben
Duamu Kerefu Benefen Heru Akuti Anate Chekira Neferne Ruben
Ruamu Shetefu Benef and Heru Akuti Anete Shugera Nefeneb Uben
Duamu Kerefu Benefen Heru Akuti Anate Chekira Neferne Ruben
Ruamu Shetefu Benef and Heru Akuti Anete Shugera Nefeneb Uben
Duamu Kerefu Benefen Heru Akuti Anate Chekira Neferne Ruben
Ruamu Shetefu Benef and Heru Akuti Anete Shugera Nefeneb Uben
Ali Jetsager Aset Suhu Kef Udu Mesuti hatet net per Heru. Didi eskaua bamunet. Mes förstrepsi. Et net hatet.
Nesudi hetepnet pihidu. Didieska Feshepsi Hetnet Hetep
Mesuti hatet net per Heru. Didi eskaua bamunet. Mes förstrepsi. Et net hatet.
Nesudi hetepnet pihidu. Didieska Feshepsi Hetnet Hetep
Mesuti hatet net per Heru. Didi eskaua bamunet. Mes förstrepsi. Et net hatet.
Nesudi hetepnet pihidu. Didieska Feshepsi Hetnet Hetep
Mesuti hatet net per Heru. Didi eskaua bamunet. Mes förstrepsi. Et net hatet.
Nesudi hetepnet pihidu. Didieska Feshepsi Hetnet Hetep
Dua em Shamsu em Nebejer. Seshu em Khepera. Dua asar neberstal. Baut neteru. Aat amin netepert. Anatet her kikenti amentet. Un nefer ab abdu. Matentu ai ku anek arati bestal. Seteka sucker. Aku sari nas. Ubed Center. Set emuka. Def sit neter. Oni entet. Hena yash em yeter. Asal erdit endek en ari Heru. Hena herme endes. Ari Heru. Aus uatepi. Ari sech. Ab ua neter. Abu pen ha asal. Abu pen asal. Spur em Heru. Arit pert. Nehas. Sa uajit pa neter. Asa ari Heru. Het em. Aset. Abu yen tuche. Meduzeyan, Asetsa, Uja, Setepsa her Amseti, Enti Amsa Asar, Sa Amseti, Asar Amseti, Meduje Nebethet, Hapsheta, Ari Besa, her happy, Enti Sa Asar, Sa happy, Asar Pu happy, Meduzeyan, Net Seduara, Semester Ru, Neb, Her, Ari Maket Duamutef, and T Amsa Asar, Sa Duamutef, Asar Pu Duamutef, Meduze Yan, Serket Imkake Sekeret, Sahu, Neb, Ari Maket, Inquepsuna, Entet, Amsa Asar, Sa Quepsuna, Asar Pu Quepsuna, Yanatura, and when Duacheta, Yanatura, and when Duacheta, Nebuchadnezzar Medut, Anatechirke Asar, Putra, Makti Sake, Setu Sakake.
Nebejer medut anetej herd asat putra. Magdi saki situ sakaki.
Nebuchadnezzar Medut, Anatechirke Asar, Putra, Makti Sake, Setu Sakake.
Nebejer medut anetej herd ka asar putra. Magdi saki situ sakaki.
Nebuchadnezzar Medut, Anatechirke Asar, Putra, Makti Sake, Setu Sakake.
Nebejer medut anetej herd ka asar putra. Magdi saki situ sakaki.
Nebuchadnezzar Medut, Anatechirke Asar, Putra, Makti Sake, Setu Sakake.
Nebejer medut anetej her ka asar putra. Magdi saki situ sakaki.
Adi Jenseker, Adi Duaker, Ekal Washu, Net ne duanet se fekera senue.
Net net dualet se fekera senhues.
Net ne duanet se fekera senue.
Net net dualet se fekera senhues.
Net ne duanet se fekera senue.
Net net dualet se fekera senhues.
Net ne duanet se fekera senue.
Net net dualet se fekera senhues.
Om, 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 su.
Amu mu konsu.
Amu, mu, om, su.
Amu konsu.
Amu, mu, om, su.
Amu konsu.
Amu, mu, om, su.
Amu konsu.
Om, Amun Rakata.
Amu raptai.
Om, Amun Rakata.
Amu raptai.
Om, Amun Rakata.
Om raptai.
Om, Amun Rakata.
Om raptai.
Om, Asara Sehu.
Om sa se Heru.
Om, Asara Sehu.
Om sa se Heru.
Om, Asara Sehu.
Om sa Heru.
Om, Asara Sehu.
Heru.
Heru Makeru.
Heru Heru.
Heru Makeru.
Heru Heru.
Heru Makeru.
Heru Heru.
Heru Makeru.
Heru Heru.
Ascend, ascend, ascend.
Ascend, ascend, Aset.
Aset. Aset. Aset.
Aset. Aset. Aset.
Aset. Aset.
Aset. Aset. Aset. Aset. Aset. Aset.
Ama awendra nepe akuja sene arineteru
Ama au enra ne pe aku jasene ari neteru.
ama awera nepe akuja sene arineteru
Ama ne pe aku jasene ari neteru.
ama awera nepe akuja sene arineteru
Ma ne pe aku jasene ari neteru.
Amahoya nepe akuja sene arineteru duara
Ama Amawedara nepe akujasene arineteru para
nuk atien keperu
nuk hatien keperu
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 Heru, 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 Heru,
heteru heteru Heru, Heru,
Heru, Heru, Heru, Heru,
Heru, Heru, Heru,
Heru, Heru, Heru, Heru,
Heru, Heru, Heru, Heru,
Heru, Heru, Heru, Heru,
Heru, Heru, Heru, Heru,
Dua-tu Heru, Dua-tu Heru,
Djehuti Heru, Djehuti 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 Heru,
Nuk Nebejer,
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 Nefer Remtra and Aton.
Nefer Remtra en Amton,
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 Makeru and Ba Nebejer.
Magheru Che,
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 Nuk Ua Kua.
Nuk Ua Ku,
Nuk Ua Kua.
Nuk Ku,
Nuk Kua, kua.
Nuk, ua,
Nuk, kua, kua.
ua, ku,
Nukmat, 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 nukmat.
nukmaat, 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 nukmaat,
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 Nut,
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 nut.
nut.
Asa, 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 asa.
Asa, sa, 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 sa,
Asa, 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 asa,
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 asa, asa, asa, asa,
sa, 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 sa,
asa, 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 asa,
asa, sa, asa, sa, asa.
ete au ank, jer uas henam, nefu kepitu, embat, dijastu, sunu albota, aset uasuja, Heru suja, menut nebu, sen efsen asar aset, etepi, suja auitu, yaso, nesheshu nebu, emhu, shemu met netu, tau sep, nebu nesteta, ua menti, eu kut teken an at, tesu ken, ena, sefa ara, digit kat, ena asar, petar keperi, medut ra, kat nefi, asar keperi, uai, uaker. Nuk aset, perke uenayet, retinal, seter samedu and Djehuti, tepmat, and pet ta atert, aset neter, nefer, ger, pu ancestry, sda ament, sa enken, pu fnn, au f, ready f, netke, dit hetet, her, ft and f taui, uahai, uaka. Heru ma Heru, Heru ma Heru, Heru ma Heru, Heru ma Heru.
Heru, 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 Heru.
Ne ai mesra, ne ai mesra, ne ai mesra, ne ai mesra. Nuk Khepera and Duau, Ra Emahau, Temu Ami Meshe.
Khepera and Duau, Ra and Temu and Shilu.
Nuk Khepera and Duau, Ra Emahau, Temu Ami Meshe.
Khepera and Duau, Ra and Temu and Shilu.
Nuk Khepera and Duau, Ra Emahau, Temu Ami Meshe.
Nuk Khepera and Duau, Ra and Temu and Shilu.
Uahai, Uako. Sasi. Neter. Neter. Bo. Washedi Waltefa Aha Emete Ema Emete Ema Emete Ema Emete Emma Emete Emma Emete Emma Peace, 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 peace. Tata, dua tata.
Dua hita.
Uja, greetings. So this will be the final. Well, we'll see how it goes on the online 4. For some reason, the previous session wasn't recorded, but this one is being recorded, so we're good. So we'll do a read through, and then we'll go through some important points. Nikt en ke mehu hebben gerke. And let me get a pen. This means that there's damaged text, which is right here. Oops. The damaged text is here. Your spiritual strength is a result of you measuring out finding and snaring the nest of birds. That is to say, you have overcome mental chatter and fluctuations in mental conditions to realize the insubstantial nature of thoughts, imaginings, longings, fantasies, emotions, and endless desiring. And through this process of snaring the wayward thoughts, through concentrative effort, you have discovered the true nature of mind, and thus rest in that clarity, which eliminates the restless character of the personality. Thus you have come to a state of equanimity and poise in your personality. So this is the whole scene, and you can see here is Lord Djehuti. Here is Khunum, is the royal personality, and here is Heru. And these three characters, so these three personalities, pictured here, have snared a flock of birds. I recall the last time I played a short video on a flock of birds and the sound that they make, the loud chattering sound. And so they have captured this flock of birds, meaning they're eliminating or reducing the effects of mental chatter. So this segment is a metaphor for the mind. Here, this is a metaphor for the mind. And these three divinities are a metaphor for the process that allows a human being to control the mind and get past the mental chatter. The mental chatter is always there, and why it's there is because of the personality's participation in time and space, temporal existence. And what I mean by that is when you come into the world of time and space, there's lots of activity. Firstly, your birth as a human being is a mental idea. It's a mental fabrication of an identity that you think you are. You know, we've all fallen prey to that. And that mental idea is filtered through the ego, and therefore your personality is a concept. How it is, its gender, its habits, its desires, its feelings are mental concepts. And to uphold that mental concept, you need mental activity. And the chatter is what maintains your fluctuation, your movement, your desiring, your feeling all the time. And it is imputed with the energies of your Ariyu. Now, if you try to calm the mind, if you go into a meditative state, and you try to calm the mind, you will become aware of this mental chatter that's going on all the time. And that's why some people say it's hard to meditate. The beginning stages of meditation can be trying and difficult because of all the chatter. But that chatter relates to the process of maintaining the concept of your personality. Because essentially you are non-conceptual. You're the supreme divine, which is non-dual spirit self. But to come into time and space and take up occupation in time and space as a sentient being, you need mental activity. And to sustain it, you need mental activity. But if you were to examine this mental activity, you would discover that it is essentially illusory. And therefore, what is happening is that your personality is upholding the illusion of itself, and that's keeping the personality away from realizing the true inner divinity that you are. You notice Khunum is looking towards Djehuti. So here. So he's articulating the process. He's bringing the process to the cosmic mind. If you discover the essential nature of mind, you will discover that mind can exist without thoughts. And what has happened is that you have taken the energy of mind and has clumped it up into thoughts and feelings and desires. And in a condition like that, because of all that energy locked down and clumped into thoughts, like binded into thoughts, then it becomes impossible for expansion in consciousness that reveals the depth of the depth of the mind and the nature of the spirit self. So that's a predicament. There's an aspect of your personality that's related to spiritual process born from an aspiration to overcome the ignorance that binds the personality to time and space existence, where you apprehend time and space as a reality. The reason why that aspiration emerges is because time and space, imputing reality on time and space, the result of that is pain and suffering. And therefore, you're trying to overcome the misery of normal human existence. And essentially, all human beings are trying to do that, whether they know it or not. But if you don't have a system, if your aspirational aspect of your personality does not become activated by some event or some an event in life, like the death of a person, or you lose your job, or some trying incident, or just general discontent with being unfulfilled. But that spiritual aspirational component doesn't stay aspirational, it becomes functional. And here, what the diagram is illustrating for us is that aspirational component becomes an observer of the activities of mind. And when that aspirational component becomes an observer in the process of observation of mind, the activities of mind starts to break down, because you're essentially shining the light of your observation on mind. And that's how that's how you're capturing the thoughts. The net is your capacity to observe objectively. And that objective observation places the mind in a condition where you are discerning the true nature of mind. So to stop the mind, you have to see the mind. The royal personality is Ramses II, is also in observation. So he's observing through Heru the same process. What that relates to is that the royal personality represents every spiritual aspirant, every spiritual initiate. And Heru and Khunum represent the faculties or the powers of that personality. That personality has a Heru aspect. That personality has a Khunum aspect. Your Khunum creator aspect, Khunum rebuilds the body. In the second hypostyle hall of the temple of Asar at Abydos, you see Khunum with Ptah molding the body on a potter's wheel. Similarly, you see in the temple of Amun at Luxor, it's commonly referred to as the Luxor temple, you see Amun, you see Khunum building the body of the child. So Khunum is a fashioner of the new consciousness that is coming in realization of its abiding nature. And what that looks like here is that Khunum is fashioning the new consciousness through a presentation of the mental activity to the cosmic mind. So it's reformatting the personality to realize that there's a higher consciousness awareness mind that is there, that when revealed the truth of that mind, recall that Djehuti is the scribe of Ma'at. He's a writer of truth. So the cosmic mind is going to reveal the truth of the mind to itself. So here the royal personality is through Heru looking at mind. So it's like looking through a prism of Heru, and that's the looking through the prism of the Hawk consciousness, which is able to see clearly, discern clearly, and realize that the activities of mind are not abiding realities. From a fundamental perspective, you see all of the, I'll make it larger. You see all of the birds around. See all of these birds are around the papyrus swarm. So some of the birds are captured and some are still flying around. Now those thoughts that are still flighty and moving around, your everyday thoughts. So you want to capture and sublimate the gross ones, the very degrading ones. You don't want those. But then there are other thoughts. What do you have to do for dinner? Where you have to go tomorrow? Have to do this for my mother. Got to take my dad to the doctor. Little Jimmy needs a new pair of socks. All of that kind of stuff. Those thoughts are still there. So in meditative absorption, in higher consciousness, you can essentially turn off the mind. But in day-to-day life, you can't just turn off the mind. In meditative absorption, you can. And then when that happens, you are experiencing expansive consciousness. But in day-to-day life, you still have activities going on, and you can't just live in your house and not go out and pay a bill or buy groceries or anything like that. But if you are an observer of this process of disintegrating the mental activity, then you spontaneously become aware of the flighty thoughts that get away. Those are still functioning. Although they are functioning, you don't have to be compelled by them. You don't have to be controlled or ruled by them. So what you do is you remain in the center of spirit consciousness awareness while the activity is moving around. So when your ego is acting up, you can stop yourself, take a deep breath, relax, bring yourself to a center. But not only bringing yourself to a center, but through a reflective process and an awareness, bringing yourself to the center of spirit consciousness being, realizing the truth of the inner essence of being. And you do that practice continually as you go through the expansive consciousness process through your meditative practice. And in so doing, the mind will become calm, relaxed, and you would flush out the negative emotional states and conditions. In profound states of this process that is taking place, that this is not the transcendental process. This is the process of how to control the mind to get to the transcendental state, or the transcendental mystical experience. In profound states of meditation, you go through certain stages. So you'll have the stage of concentration, extended concentration. From extended concentration, you go into meditation. From meditation, if you stay there, if you meditate diligently and you build up your meditative practice, 2 hours, not just 1 hour, multiple hours of not doing anything but remaining in meditative equipoise. You do that early in the morning or late at night. You can't be bothered by other people or stuff like that. If you stay in meditation, will happen eventually if you're also ingratiating Ma'atian ethical conscience. So if you're on point with your Ma'at righteousness and truth, you will enter what is referred to as a super consciousness. And that is the consciousness whereby you transcend the limits of mind. And this is what this practice is leading to. This is a direct metaphysical step that is to be taken that leads to the ultimate absorption where mind is dissolved. So to dissolve the mind, you have to stop its activity and you have to control its activity. So if in day-to-day life you're just moving with the whims of the mind, and every thought, every feeling of the mind, you're reacting to it. and you're reacting to other people's personality and their feelings and their desires, then you won't have a net. The net is a metaphor for your active movement towards controlling mind through the process of observation. And with observation, what will happen is that you'll start to slow things down. Like when I used to train athletes, we used to employ sports psychology. We used to train athletes in how to slow things down. Like if everything is moving fast, then you'll be in the field of the activity, and that will have a negative effect on your sports performance. It works similarly. If you're in the activity and you're moving and going and moving and going and moving and going, you're going to lose your awareness of your inner spirit consciousness nature. You'll not be able to ascertain it, or if you ascertain it, it will be for very short periods. So you need observation to slow things down so that you can slow down. And when you slow down, then you develop a deeper discernment, deeper awareness. And that awareness leads you to spiritual gains, where you're making spiritual progress. The final point is here, is to realize the insubstantial nature of thoughts, imaginings, longings, fantasies, emotions, and endless desiring. Through this observation process, what you should come to in your research into the nature of mind, and that's what meditation is essentially is. It's your subjective research into the nature of mind. What you should come to is the illusory nature of all of this mental activity. And if you come to that realization, you can see through it, and then you won't have to act on it. You won't have to act on every thought and feeling that arises. And you'll be able to arise at a place where you discover the nature of mind itself, the true nature of mind. There are two aspects of mind to come to: the true nature of mind and the essence of mind. The true nature of mind relates to what mind really is. On a micro level, meaning your mind, what that mind really is. And on a macro level, how your individual conception of mind relates to the cosmic mind. What is that relationship? So, and your individual notion of mind blends with the cosmic nature of mind. You realize that you're bigger than what you really think you are. You're an expansive, massive mental consciousness. And then to discover the essence of mind is to discover what is the true abiding essence behind the cosmic manifestation of mind. And there you discover the essence of The essence of mind relates to discovering the essence of yourself. Why that is because essentially you're a mental, you think that you're a physical, but you're actually a mental being. Just think about it. Your unconscious controls your life. You can't do anything without a thought. Just to tie your shoes, you have to have a very subtle, high velocity thought. Tie my shoes. You tie your shoes. You can't write anything without thinking. You can't do anything on your computer. You are a mental being projecting into time and space. And that projection into time and space is reflecting back to the soul what that temporal mental being is seeking out, trying to experience. So you are essentially soul manifesting as a mind. And to explore the physical plane of existence, that mind needs an instrument. So essentially the physical body is an instrument of the soul. If you discover the cosmic nature of mind, and you discover the essence of that cosmic mind, then you discover the true nature of self. Okay? And just one thing for the Duat students, Sibaja class last night reminded me that I said that we would do some regular Amdua chanting, so I haven't forgotten. Well, I was reminded. So we'll talk about it on Friday and discuss what we're going to do. So you're not neglected. We're gonna do it. And the other thing is, we're gonna have the medicine class today, and that's it. And the books are being worked on, so everything is happening as best as can be. Okay, do it, everyone. Until we meet again next week. Hit that.